All right, we're here. We're here. We're here.
We're here. No rear. Get used
Get
to
used
it.
to it.
And also, welcome, folks, to episode 100. 100. 100.
Hand
100.
e hand.
100. That's as best as I'm going to get.
We got a
Episode
cold.
164.
We got a
And
cold start there, huh? Didn't you? Gotta warm up the engine.
yeah, I forgot to press my primer that's in between my stomach.
That's the thing. Yep, that'll get you.
But welcome, folks, to JAC Show episode 164. I'm the generally beautiful and moronic hack.
And I am your cringe tuber, Jack. Also new and improved.
Oh,
I moved now.
I have not seen it yet, but I did see that you finally got the new template, the new stream template up and running on your Twitch account.
Yeah, and actually, I need to double check on my Twitter because I was waiting to have the just say thanks to the person that commissioned it, but I have not yet seen her post anything. She wanted me to wait for her to post something, so I was waiting and I forgot.
Well, respect your artist wishes then, and also welcome Johnny, welcome Blue. We are not dishonored. You dishonor us, Blue, for not being patient, just like a woman. And also,
Well, remember, we're like the Mexican parents. We're saying bye, bye, bye in the party, and we're saying it to like 75 people with 2 hours each.
That's not even a Mexican. I think that's just all parents in general from any race.
Really, I think that's just a Hispanic thing to me. I don't know.
Nah. That's every ethnicity. All of us have been there where we're at a party full of adults, and we're kids. We're at a party full of adults. We don't, and all of the kids have already gone, and so we just want to go home. We're tired. We're like the fun is worn out now, and we're just waiting on our mostly our mothers to finish their conversations with either our aunts or friends or their friends, just waiting there. And then when they find, and then they keep reminding us, the kids, they'd be like, "Hey, we're about to go," and then they jibber jabber on with with the remaining people in the party, even though we're already ready, and now we're waiting on them.
Yep.
And also, John, I will not turn in my Latino card because uh, because F you, that's why.
You're just gonna be demoted to a residency, Latino.
I'm not just doing a Wookiee sound. Blue said, "Excuse you, women are the ones supposed to be late. You're doing it wrong." Haven't you forget, Blue? I said every beginning of the stream, I'm the genuinely beautiful. I'm beautiful, Blue.
Also, what makes you think that we don't, in that moment, to be late, we identify as a woman?
Exactly. Exactly. I could be before we started on. I could be putting on my fake nails, trimming
Acrylic nails. You gotta. If you want to sell it, you gotta learn the lingo. Or acrylic
you're right.
nail stiletto.
I got you're acrylic nail stiletto.
Yep.
Yeah, put on my acrylic nails. I'm putting on my fake eyebrows. Putting a bunch of pancake mix of foundation on my body. Not my face.
No, not
my
on the
body.
face, on the body.
But then once the stream's on, now we take all that stuff out and we're back to being, manly Latino men, or as manly as we can be running a YouTube show. Think about it. Would truly manly men spend their times on the internet debunking thoughts on TikTok?
I don't know. Apparently, that's classified for the alpha male, supposedly.
Yeah, that's only for something of the upper echelon of alphas to prove young, naive, silly women wrong. Such a barrier to manliness.
I kind of find it funny because I was seeing So I don't know if anyone else watches this channel. It's called Freedom Tunes on YouTube.
Oh, is
And
I've heard it. I'm subscribed to them actually. They're
yeah,
neat.
and if you're not, go ahead
Blue,
and
blue,
look them up. It's a nice little animation thing. It has a lot of satire on it.
now
My favorite one.
Blue would
Hmm?
dislike them though.
Why?
Oh, she knows why.
Oh,
He knows. Anyways, you were saying.
basically one of the one of the videos was literally a mock up of the, I think, the Fresh Fit guys with a bunch of girls, and the the girl is an 18-year-old. It's a literally, and I just noticed this too. Like most of the times, the Fresh Fit guys, they, or whoever this podcast is, they bring in like young girls, like 18, 19 girls that don't even know what's like. They don't even know how to wipe their own ass, and they'll say something stupid, and then it's just the consistent. This bitch dope it. This bitch
Oh,
dope it.
that's right. I remember that video. You know what? That's actually pretty accurate too. I think the I think for like a brief second you missed. I saw a little bit of that type of content just out of pure curiosity to see what the heck this is. But then
Mm-hmm.
after I realized, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, I then just stop altogether because it was silly, very
Yeah.
silly.
Like
Now, if you excuse
what?
me,
A
now,
teenager?
now excuse me, I'm gonna go back to reading men in tights on the internet. But before we go to any topic or anything that come across our heads, I want to acknowledge something of a milestone, small milestone as it may be, that this channel has crossed just very
Mhm.
recently, and for all you guys that haven't noticed, but the Hack Jack Show has just now reached 150 subscriber, folks. Yes, that's exactly what it means. There's
What?
150 people out here in this world that find us tolerable. Thank you. And so just a little pat ourselves in the back because it's admittedly due to the lack of content aside from the main show, it isn't very hard to to find that time to give you guys more stuff on this YouTube channel. So to see the type of growth kind of out of nowhere, I'll consider it as a blessing. But that also means, more importantly, that also means with, let's see, we have November, we have the rest of October, November, and December. So we got like 2 and 3/4 left of the year in terms of months. Or about 90 days. Let's say 90 days. About 90 days left until we can reach 200 subscribers. And I still remember he's not. I still remember here. If
Mhm.
we do get 200 subscribers before the end of the year, our good friend Ghetto Machine will cosplay as Wolverine and do that one Wolverine meme. You know,
I
the one he's laying in his bed and he's holding up a
I
frame.
actually did forget about that one.
I never forgot. I never wrote. So, because of that, we're only 50 away from reaching that goal. And so, I think we're going to probably push now that we're in like literally the last stretch of the year. And I'm definitely going to start pushing more for everyone to, you know, to shield ourselves basically, that, you know, whenever the show is live, it will not hurt and it will be a blessing to us, to spread the word and share whenever we go live here with the main show, or if I'm doing doing my streams, or if it happens one day I upload a video just to spread awareness. And of course I'll do my part to make sure we do all the selling. But as for our audience, you don't have to, but it will not hurt for us, to spread the word about the Hack Jack Show. Boost the subscriber number up so that I could see my good friend Ghetto Machine in tight yellow spandex. That
Ayo.
came out
Pause.
that came out more gay than I thought. Anyways,
Are you gonna pause?
now we're moving on. I acknowledged it.
Damn. Oh, he wants all the sus.
No, I literally acknowledged it. I literally said I came out more gay than I thought.
Okay, it's an unofficial pause, everyone. Okay, you get it, Johnny?
Oh, just
He got it.
just because I don't follow your meme format. I have my own meme format.
It's not a meme format. It's a way of living.
Yeah, what a way to live, to pause.
Unpause. There we go.
Ah, thank you.
I was gonna
waiting
see
for
how
it.
long we were gonna break. I broke first. Oh, you know what we
man.
should have done? I should have. One day, I'm gonna have the buffer symbol ready. So I'm gonna put that and press it and show it live, and people will think we're buffering.
Oh, that. Shoot, we can edit that in. Anyways, but yeah. So hopefully we can reach that milestone before December 31st. If not, it is what it is. But I want to reach for that 200 star, and get this channel to continue to grow and prosper. With all that shilling and self promotion out of the way, there actually is be it an old topic now, since this happened in between this episode and the last, but I do want to address it uh on air on an episode. I may have talked about it in the last Devil May Cry 3 stream I did. Maybe. No, wait. No, I did not. So I'm going to address it here now that we have the space to do so. So Jack, it is game related. So you can definitely chime in. Are you aware of a certain, I guess the word to be used, infamous game developer stepping down from a very well-known game company?
I feel like I heard the news, but I don't remember who it was.
Fair enough. He's unless you're into niche Japanese games that cater to a very specific audience, I don't expect anyone to really care about this news, because even in the world of gaming, it's a pretty small one. But this what but I'll go ahead and share you this tweet, Jack. So let me go and share this with you, so you can at least show it off to the folks at home. There we go. Oh wait, not that. No, not that. Go away. There you go. Got the link. I'll put in the sources, Jack. Here you go. All right. So this was announced a few weeks ago on September 25th, and oh no, not that. This was announced on September 25th from. Got a cough?
No. Okay. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
The heck?
I clicked to look more in, like I actually clicked to like enlarge it, and it showed some weird ass actually literally just weird ass. It was dancing between random game characters, and one of them was in a very nice bikini.
I see.
And I can't show that on YouTube. So everyone, I apologize for the small lettering, but we're gonna have to live with this.
Oh god. All right. So, anyways, this tweet comes from one of my personal favorite game studios, Platinum Games. If you don't know who they are responsible for one of the they are responsible for creating and developing the Bayonetta series. They've also made games such as Vanquish, a mediocre Legend of Korra game, a pretty good Transformers game, and as well creating one of my personal favorite Wii U games, The Wonderful 101, and from what I understand, a pretty underrated gem on the Switch, not Bayonetta 3, but a game called what was the one? You can have a robot police dog. Oh, it's escaping my mind. It didn't have a very clever title. It's not Axiom Verge. That's not it. Dang it! What was it called? Give me a moment. personally haven't played it yet, just due to there's only so much time in the world to play every single game out there. So priorities and I am
What's it about?
it's about I think like futuristic cops.
Astral
Try to
Chains?
There we go, Astral Chain. Thank you, Jack. Now,
That's what I got for that one voucher thing, remember?
that's right. All right. So on September 25th, Platinum Games released a statement, and I quote: "We regret to announce that Hideki Kamiya will be leaving Platinum Games on October 12th, 2023. We are truly grateful for his creative ideas, leadership, and contribution to the growth of Platinum Games from our startup to this very day. We believe that he will continue to succeed in his future endeavors as a game creator. We're looking forward to seeing the game industry grow into a better place with him in it. We wish him all the best for the future." That was the official statement given by Platinum Games, and as well the developer himself, Kamiya, has also made a personal statement on his Twitter account, which if you're one of the few people who he hasn't blocked, you could still view it.
Yay.
So, so like I said, he is infamous because he has made he has gained a reputation on Twitter for being very liberal, you could say, with the block button. And look, that's his prerogative. If that's how he wants to do it. He used to be a lot more chill, but I think just the trolls got to him, and so now he keeps now he keeps everything so strict to the point that um he went from he read everyone's tweets to now he will block you if you keep asking the same questions, to he will block you if you tweet to him in English. Oh man, that was funny. That's just funny seeing that goes. But nevertheless,
You
despite
think
this,
if Platinum Games went and tagged them with this English version of it, they would block that too?
no, he's not. No, not that petty.
I don't know. I
Johnny
would be
says,
that petty.
Johnny's, we block you. I fart in his general direction. Maybe. Like I said, as a his online presence, a lot of people are ticked off by it. But as an actual game developer, my personal opinion, I think he is legitimately one of the most creative and talented developers within the past uh within like the past 20 and 30 years. He has helped develop some of not just my favorite games, but some of our favorite games for the people in the Hack Jack Show circle. And nope, he's a core like he of course made the games I mentioned, but that's his during his time at Platinum. For Platinum, he was at Capcom, and what did he make at Capcom? He made Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil 2. He made the first Devil May Cry. He made Beautiful Joe 1, and he made Okami. So, and
Ooh.
let's see, anything else I'm missing? No. Oh, no, wait, he didn't make. I don't know. He didn't make God Hand, but he made those four games, four, you know, Capcom classics that a few of them are you can still play to this day. Only a few though. So he has a big reputation in terms of his I guess the way to say it, his gaming discography or his reputation as a developer. And so seeing this news was actually surprising, but at the same time for me, having followed this guy and really almost kind of studied his body of work to a degree. Uh Hold on. Johnny says he does wear the beard and shades of someone who will make those games.
What is
Yeah.
that supposed to
Oh,
mean? Wait, what is that supposed to mean?
that he looks like the type of person that will make a game like Devil May Cry.
Hmm.
If you know what he looks like, he's like his most famous look is that he's bald, has a chin beard, and wears shades all the time.
Huh.
Any case, um, like I do want. Let's see. I do want to go back to his personal statement in regards to the matter. A lot of it is just that he's gonna miss his time there at Platinum, and that he was glad he was able to found the to found the studio. As what people don't know is that Kamiya is actually a founder of Platinum Games, not the sole founder. There was three of them when the studio was made. So effectively, this is I think this is the this I could be wrong here, but this is the last original Platinum Games developer to leave the studio. The first two already left, and with the other one, who is also well known within the game industry, being Shinji Mikami, aka the guy who pretty much reinvented Resident Evil twice. So he left a long time ago. There was a second developer that I don't remember who he was, but Kamiya was the third one who was also part of the foundation of the company, and now he has gone his separate ways. So, so now I do want to bring attention to this, mostly because I've actually been somewhat I'll put this. I've been somewhat disappointed by other more game related channels talking about this because it's more like, yeah, the guy's gone. Moving on. Not much to say. And I could definitely tell like half the people on the panel don't even have not even played half of his work, which is sad because he's made like one of the most popular games ever, or at least well known. Maybe not popular, but definitely well known. So I'm gonna so I'm gonna put on myself to fix that and give him the credit he deserves, because as a game designer, and as especially in this in this
Economy?
in work, not economy, no, in the way how the modern game design trends have changed over the years. He is one of those few people that is always gonna do things his own way, even if it means he will go against certain design trends that are popular at that moment. And 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 that has helped him especially a lot in a lot of his body of work. I mean, heck, with Resident Evil 2, even though the like original Resident Evil 2, even though that game is still in control wise and design wise still made in the same vein as the first game, the second game actually is what made actually really what made Resident Evil get its identity in the fact that it's a game where it introduced a Resident Evil being a bit more over the top and almost actiony, as how we now as how as how it came to be later on, even before RE4, especially with how he will introduce kind of more crazier enemies, more over the top weapons for the characters to use, and as well having more action set pieces within the horror genre. So so pretty much being an inverse to the first Resident Evil, in which that game was actually more focused on trying to scare you and make you, feel dread and making sure that every bullet counts. He then does the opposite with the second game and making sure now by the end you have so much ammo you don't know what to do. And then he keeps that philosophy when he then made Devil May Cry. Because I don't know about you, Jack. I don't know if you don't know, but do you know what Devil May Cry was originally supposed to be?
Uh, wasn't it supposed to be the RE4?
Yep, that was the third version of RE4. RE4 went through a long development, but yeah, the third version of RE4, or maybe the original version, which is one of those three, effectively went so far of being not Resident Evil that instead of just canceling the project, uh, Kamiya's like, just Capcom approved letting Kamiya turn it into a different thing entirely, and that's how Devil May Cry is born. And for all the Devil May Cry players, you will notice the RE DNA, especially in the first three games, especially with the very strict camera or like the very strict camera movement. The especially for the first game, the horror atmosphere, because one of the things that original Devil May Cry had that kind of lived on to the RE4 that we know today is that that castle area we fight all those ghoulish monks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would not be surprised if that was leftover ideas and designs from when RE4 became Devil May Cry, because the first game takes place entirely within a castle on a secluded island. That sound familiar?
Oh, I see, I see. What if
Yep.
they were all connected?
Oh, sheesh. Then that we'll find some way to connect the Street Fighter games to Resident Evil. We'll find some way.
You see,
Oh,
when
Johnny's. Hold on.
Nemesis came out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, Johnny has a opinion of his own. He says, "I've always called bullshit. I'm not fully want to pitch a new game, but they just want to RE, so he pretended the game was RE, hoping Capcom would like it. I mean, still, at, I could believe that. I have not heard any evidence to say otherwise. To say otherwise, but that is also just as believable. But despite how he acts on Twitter, he actually is pretty. He actually is a pretty professional when it comes to his work. But that could also be the case. Who will, unless he says something on the matter, we'll really never know of whether or not Devil May Cry was always his intention, or if just working RE4 eventually led to him doing that. We'll never know for sure.
How would it look like to have a Leon, but just replace, or like, yeah, just replace Dante with Leon and have it look like that?
Both of them ended up as over the top action protagonists when you think about it.
True, but then like,
and the hair and the hair too.
like I'm thinking about a snowball effect. Like, what would end up happening if like this all happened? Then this is the direction that the RE games actually took, where it's just
That
more actiony.
where it becomes like a hack and a hack and slash.
And then what's worse, from there forward, from there on, I'm sorry, from there on, maybe someone's gonna be like, "Hey, why don't we have RE Dynasty Warriors?" And now you're gonna have Chris Redfield going off against.
You joke about that, but that almost exactly what happened in one of the Resident Evil CG movies.
You see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're so close to Dynasty. Everything eventually leads to Dynasty Warriors, and I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Get on a Capcom RE Warriors. Let's go. It's like
Leon is just male lady.
Will somehow make the guns work like swords. Somehow.
Hey,
No.
hey, if they will make it work. Oh,
Now,
I know how. I know how. Okay, so whatever their signature assault rifle or whatever it is, they'll only shoot it in bursts and then like arcs. So it looks like a slash of bullets. There you go. See, I'm writing it for you guys.
No, better. No, it's you get a melee weapon and a range weapon, and the melee weapon is usually the knife.
Oh, we're just gonna go with the Persona Strikers way, where it's just like a man with a freaking knife and going around disassembling zombies with the occasional gunplay.
Exactly. Also, hello, hello, Getum. Welcome, good sir. Just in time, we're talking about everyone's favorite developer, Hideki Kamiya. But there is one game I do want to highlight that is actually my personal favorite of his.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't think gets any attention at all, just due to the fact that it released on a failing console, and that would be the Wonderful 101. Love that game so much. I bought it a second time when it came on Switch. That's how much I like it. And I almost actually ended up spending the weekend almost beating that copy of the game as well, almost.
Dang.
But I wanted to bring attention to that because for me, and
Hmm.
recognizing his body of work, I feel that that game is a culmination of everything he learned in his career thus far and put it into that one single game. And 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 for me, it is very evident in the fact that that game pretty much is his. I like to think it is his magnum opus because one thing about Kamiya that I read in a lot of interviews with the guy, like more professional interviews, was that the games he loved when he was young were at the arcade. He loves arcade games, and in fact, he was a, from what I understand of his youth, he was a type of person that pretty much always got into trouble because he played too much video games, and his parents will scold him saying, "You're wasting your life doing that." Oh my god! And look where he is now, unemployed. Nah, I'm sure he's doing fine. I'm sure he's doing fine.
Damn, that was kind of that was out of pocket right there.
He's fine. He's fine.
Next thing
But
you know, you're blocked on Twitter.
oh no, he somehow decided to watch this. Shoot, if he did, I'll be honored. I'll be honored to get that block.
you'll
But
you'll you'll get a freaking you'll do a screen capture and then frame it.
I will, good sir. But back to Wonderful 101. Uh, like I said, that gives a culmination of every idea he's ever thought of, but also his love for not just video games, but pretty much tokusatsu superheroes in general, or AKA what the actual real Power Rangers from Japan, and 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 I think it gives an idea of the type of designer he is because he's the type of person the way he designs games is he's the type of one that he wants to make sure every idea can work within the game and he'll find a way to make it work. Um, and a lot of it are sometimes ideas he repeats from earlier games that probably weren't that didn't do it as well, but then is refined here. A perfect example, everyone who has played the original Devil May Cry, we all know how for some reason for the final boss, like literally I think it's like the first or the second phase of the final boss, instead of fighting the boss with your normal combat, it turns it like into like an arcade shooter. And then so you have to adapt to these new controls that aren't intuitive at all for the final boss before you can actually like properly fight him. So he takes that idea that he implemented all those years ago, but then when he brings it back for 101, he actually finds a way for it to make it work. And so when you then play that game, not only is the combat even more refined and more creative than what you can do in Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, but the other game mechanics he inserts uh, that are added in junction with the main combat uh, what's it also work not completely flawlessly because it's has he does have to work with the weird controller gimmick of the Wii U gamepad, but at least he used that weird aspect of the console to his favor to make an action game that's very different from other action games, and as well and as will be completely sincere in what type of story it wants to be. I'll tell you this much: I love the guy's games. He is not a storyteller, as evident from Devil May Cry from the Devil May Cry games. I love them, but they're not the greatest narrative pieces, nor I would say they are. And as well, um, and as well, even with the Bayonetta games, the story is there if you want it, but it's never important. You can literally play through all the Bayonetta, skipping every cutscene, and still get an enjoyment out of it. But for Wonderful 101, what I appreciate about this is that because he's actually making a game about something he really enjoys, which is tokusatsu,
Mhm.
and or and just that type of superhero media, he actually bothers to create a compelling and fun narrative. Despite the fact that that's always been kind of a weakness of his as a designer of games. He was never really good with narrative, but he somehow made it work with a wonderful 101. That is not to say it is the most groundbreaking thing ever, or that is not to say it is not filled with a whole bunch of tropes. But what I am willing to say is that he at least commits to his vision and he commits to this type of story he wants to tell, and there's actual character arcs. The and the way that the story, the stakes get higher and higher and higher actually are in a way it's kind of like designed like an anime, or like a shonen anime where how every arc it just a lot of shonen animes they had to go through that trope, but with every arc the villain just gets stronger than the previous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I remember those.
He at
Like
least
in every shonen.
yeah, he at least does that, but at least but he at least commits to that once you reach the finale peak. Yeah, it doesn't get any crazier than there, which is also funny because all of those ideas are probably stuff he got from Beautiful Joe because he made Beautiful Joe, and so he took Beautiful Joe and was like, you know what? What if instead of controlling one Beautiful Joe, let's control 100 Beautiful Joes at the same time, and instead of fighting on the Earth as giant mechs, let's do that in space.
Sign me up.
Oh man,
I
and
mean,
that's what.
anything in space is awesome to me.
Oh man, and that's what I can go on and on about, but keep a stopping point. But that game to me, that to me shows like the pinnacle of his design philosophy, of his creativity, and just goes to show that even if you have a very far fetched idea as a game concept, what the concept being that that you're controlling like 100 tiny little heroes fighting an alien invasion, and every alien has these weird pun names and whatever, all of that nonsense. That as long as you commit to the bit and it's fun, you can make it work. Johnny said he really is the Fast and Furious of video games. Uh, no, because Fast and Furious overstayed its welcome. If I had to compare it to like a movie or whatever, he's like the man. Honestly, I don't know. There's a good way to compare. I don't know what's a good way to. I don't know. There's a good film series or director to compare it to, because that's one thing I also like about Kamiya is that when he makes a game, he makes a game. I uh I don't know how that's such a hard thing to do nowadays, but when there's a cutscene in his games, guess what you can do, Jack? Guess what you can do?
You can interrupt it, I guess.
No, you can just skip it, even on your first playthrough. If you don't want to watch the story, just skip it, even on your first playthrough.
Oh,
You'll be
nice.
you'll be surprised how many other game designers don't think of that or don't even
Well,
add that option.
well, you see, they work so hard for their their story of insert trope here. They really want you to hear it again.
Exactly. Oh man. So so now after the news of actually him leaving, personally, from the way I've seen Capcom have handled their studio over the past few years, I think he's leaving at a good time because unfortunately, Platinum Games. Oh my gosh, let's just say they were never were a company that always did hot, but they always had steady work. Recently, um, recently their steady work has not been too fruitful, and unfortunately, they've been prioritizing of getting into a lot of or getting into the free to play market.
Oh, I see, I
With
see.
and I think they actually did release a game published by Square Enix. It was one of the free to play games that did horribly to the point that near before the game was dropped from the service. I think the most recent Steam player count saw at one point it was at 0. No one was
Sounds
playing the game.
familiar. Which one was it? It sounds familiar.
I'm trying to remember. It looked generic. It had a very generic title. Um, I don't remember what it was called. It was supposed to be like a. There we go. Ghetto got it right in the chat. Babylon Falls.
Oh. Nope, never heard of it then.
Yep.
I thought I
Exactly. Because
thought I thought
literally
I
no one played it. And the worst part is I think either one of the lead developers or even one of the higher ups at Platinum, upon seeing that in like a post mortem of the game, they he commented of saying, you know what, we're gonna double down and we're gonna try this again in the future. And all I can think is, mother, did you not see how much of a failure Babylon Falls was, and you want to do it again? And how much resources and money was wasted on a game no one played? Heck, you can barely maintain a niche audience with the more traditional games Platinum makes. Heck, out of everyone, actually, you know what? Just even this small group of people, I know for sure, Ghetto and I and Virgo have played Bayonetta 3. I know Ghetto has played Astral Chain. Has anyone else played those games? Anyone?
Oh wait, I
Don't
got
be
you. I got you.
afraid.
Hold on. I got you. Give me 1 second. Where is it?
Exactly. And that's within our little niche audience, and we're all about niche stuff. We're all into weird things, both sexual and non-sexual.
Oh
So
damn. Okay.
so so that should tell you within the grander game market of how well their games do, which is the kind of the sad part, is that there were pioneers within the action genre, but man, no one bothers to play their games, and it's sad. And so with and it probably doesn't help that when Platinum Games had the opportunity to work with Microsoft for them to develop a really like actual big release for Platinum that was going to be an exclusive for at the time the Xbox One with Scalebound, which was a project Kamiya was in charge of, and heck, that's a big investment only for Microsoft to go, all right, we're not doing it. It's canceled. I just I could just feel the hurtness when that happened. Oh, and even get a points out during the 2010s. You know, you know, I think Bayonetta 2 was like their uh was a game that did decently well. But my favorite one for 101 didn't do well because it was on a failing console and was a new IP. New IPs don't generally do well. Their licensed games were honestly mediocre, with the Transformers one being the exception. They worked with Nintendo on Star Fox Zero, and that did not do well at all. Oh boy, that was a big disappointment. So yeah, a whole bunch of things that either did happen or just did at best mediocre. So I am not surprised after all of this time that Kamiya is like, you know what? I think it's time to move on. And you know what? Good. He probably should move on because luckily, at the very least, with Astral Chain and Bayonetta 3, despite I'm not sure how well they did sales wise, but I do know that there are other people who can make games like that on Platinum Games. So losing Kamiya is not going to be a big detriment. Because he only developed he was the main lead in the first game, then he just kind of stepped back as the producer for 2 and 3, whichever that could mean in the Japanese gaming development, because his job could literally just be, hey, is the game ready? No, okay. Or he could have been someone else very active. titles are not very consistent within Japanese development. Business titles, I should clarify. In any case, so this is the end this segment. Saying I hope that I have no doubt like if any game company or studio are smart, that they'll try to get this guy as much as Nintendo always wants to get Masahiro Sakurai, and I will laugh. I will have a gaff, as you could say, if that man Sakurai comes back in for one more Smash Brothers game. And all I can think is, dude, are you actually done with this series or not? Anyways. Yeah, good luck to it. Good luck to Kamiya. Let him forever be a troll on Twitter, and I hope he could and I can't wait for his next project. And there you go. That ends uh
TED
my
Talk?
segment.
Oh.
That ends my TED talk. Yes.
Well, I don't know much about Platinum games other than the fact that I did play a few of them, and I hope he does well. To be honest, who knows? Maybe he'll make another game studio. Who knows?
It worked for Shinji Mikami. Um, uh, with when he I think when he made his own studio, although that studio got bought up by Bethesda, and then now that's now Bethesda's been bought up by Microsoft. So who knows? Maybe he created his own studio, and then that studio will be bought off by a bigger company.
It'll be bought off by EA. Bad ending.
Uh, act, Actually, I kind of doubt it. EA ain't going to invest in foreign talent, to put it in a phrase.
We don't care for them foreigners.
We don't make games. We make experiences.
It's in the game.
Challenge everything.
You know, I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember who it was, but I was watching this whole segment on. I like to have a bunch of Asmon Gold videos in the background while I do something, and this one was apparently from an old. He was watching an old game dev. I think that was for Blizzard, maybe. Who knows? But he was talking about how the work environment for these game companies is completely different now, and there is the reason why a lot of these games come out buggy or they just take forever to come out with like mediocre everything in it has to do a lot with the work environment of these companies. And some of these things, oof, I'm kind of nervous for if this is true.
Well, if it's
Uh,
Blizzard, then most likely yes, it's true.
because apparently there were some before he was recalling one of his stories that before all these changes he in the company they used to put up like this giant board on the wall, and on the board it would have a to-do list. Basically, for anyone that's in software engineering or just know the phrasing, it's I'm assuming it's a Kanban board where basically it's like to do, critical. It's like columns. So like column to do, column that is critical, column that's like bugs. On the board it would have a sticky note that would say what is like a major bug in the game, and it would have the person's name on it, and they would like that they have to then they will go off and do it. Apparently nowadays, one of the times he tried to do that, and one of the people was like, "No, if you do that, I'll quit. I'll quit.
What?
I don't want my name on there because then they'll know who did it." I'm like, okay, but this is a team
Uh,
effort, and people have to work on this to fix it. I don't care if there is a like for me as I'm on board with the guy because I'm like I don't care if maybe you were the cause of the bug or if you don't like wanting to fix that bug, we need it fixed. This is something that needs to happen so we can be able to get better and at least develop this game.
Oh, Jack, that's a sign of a toxic work environment if I've ever heard one.
Uh I don't know because the fact that
No,
people are just like saying no to a Kanban board, ooh,
like
have they
like I
not?
said, it's a toxic work environment because no one wants to be accountable for any mishaps.
Yeah, yeah, and also apparently, he was also talking about one of his other instances where I think he was talking to one of the, I guess like old founders and one of the founders and was like throwing ideas of how to get this game up and running, but they were getting heated, like yelling at each other, and I mean, in a way, it makes sense. It really does make sense. The more that I think about it, like, yeah, it makes sense that they're gonna get heated about this to figure out what's gonna happen, how it's gonna work, if it's gonna work, if these ideas are dumb or not. And literally, people would go into their office and they're like, "Is everything all right here? You guys are yelling. You're scaring the people around here. Like, are you mad at each other?" like like as if they're parents as if they're parents and they're the children just like is mom and dad mad at each other.
Oh God, they sound coddled, which is probably which I'm. You know what? I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say is the culprit, but something tells me HR kind of meddles in the work environment a bit too much.
Who knows, you could be right, but uh
Yeah, but we don't know unless you actually work there. But I definitely can believe that, especially working for the bigger game studios and developers, have the company culture, you could say, has definitely changed over the years. And
mhm.
I think one of the evidence of that I've seen that are pretty clear cut is, you ever seen that uh Crow Cat video where he compares uh Bungie during their Halo days, compared them to 343?
I think so. I saw a lot
Yeah.
of videos like that, to be honest, and they all
Well,
blurred together.
fair enough. But the one by Crowdcat, yeah, he makes these video montages, and he's mostly focusing on the difference of how these development teams focus on creating the game. And when you see with Bungie and what they were doing, they were pretty much very much entirely focused on making sure that the player has a fun experience. And one of the big takeaways that one of the devs said that struck with me was the fact that he wanted to make sure, and this was in context when they were making Halo 2, was he wanted to make sure that the game is just as fun when you played it the first time and at the 1000th time, which says a lot. And with 3-4, and then when you look at your 343, to kind of contrast with Bungie's way of viewing game development, 343 were very much hyper focused on not trying to create a fun experience for the player, but rather trying to let's see, but focus on but rather focus on things that don't really well, they do matter. I'm not gonna say they don't, but they're not as imperative as when it comes to having a fun game, with its overemphasis on narrative, and because it was emphasizing Halo 4 and 5, especially with the Halo the Pro Halo League, for how long that lasted.
Ugh,
So
yeah.
designing a online environment that's focused more on competitiveness rather than trying to have a fun online environment. And so the game is then made so that it caters to people who are competitive and not just people who want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So and as well with the whole business model of adding microtransactions to every single thing. And didn't Halo 5 have a loot box system if I remember?
Halo 5. That one was the one with the.
Well,
Let me
the one
double
we play
check.
as we play as Locke.
Oh, yeah,
And has that
it did.
amazing fight scene.
Man, I was.
Oh man. Oh
I'm
man.
so glad I did not buy the game because well, thankfully I was not able to buy the game.
Yeah,
That's
he
all I'm
dodged
gonna say.
he dodged a big bullet on that one. Also, I want
But
to highlight a few. Hold on, I want to highlight a few comments from Johnny. He says, Mortal Kombat 1 came out with player one advantage on and offline, which is true. I can't see tournaments happening in that mess. He also adds, we're all big family here at insert company name. You gotta be a team player so I can get my bonus. Also, you don't need to go home tonight, right? I think you make this character cooler. Oh yeah, the awful what's that crunch time. The emphasis, especially in a lot of tech companies, they find a lot of ways to make sure that you can be at your office for as most for a majority of the day because 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 the game industry has still not figured out how to attain a work-life balance, as sad as that is.
well, even then, I think it's partially because the fact that, and it's not just the game industry; it's also the just corporate America, as you could say it. And yeah, I'm using
Yeah,
I'm coining the term,
the
uh,
the, the corpos.
but it's literally just. Well, we invested so much money into these buildings, and now these people don't want to work in the building. They want to work at home. We're losing money from these buildings. We're forcing them to come to work. So
D-
it's all about real estate.
don't, and also we got a ping pong table that
Yay!
you can use for 15 minutes a day.
Yay! The one place I actually did consider going to apply for was Google because, and I probably still am thinking about it because they do have a very nice, what's the word? What's the word? Not center.
Severance package.
No, not severance packet. Facilities. Facilities.
Facilities.
They have very
Uh,
nice facilities.
Honestly, as much as a monolith Google has become, I'll say go for it. I'll say keep going for it, just so you can have that on your resume.
Yeah, true. True. People are gonna be like, oh, Google, Google, oh.
It's like,
Yes,
oh
the
my
number,
god,
Google.
you work for Google? Yeah, I
No.
was. No, it'll be like this. It's like you work for Google? Yeah, I was a janitor there. Hey, that's still working for Google. I didn't say I worked on the computers. Oh,
Oh,
Johnny
but there
says,
is that other
how is
one,
hold
the
on, hold on.
mhm.
Johnny says, how is paying for utilities in the building gonna save money, you white collar fuck?
You
Nah.
see,
You
but
see,
real estate.
you see, Johnny, the it, you see, Johnny, when everyone is in the building, we have a synergy going on, and we use that synergy to revolutionize the way we conduct our business strengths and weaknesses. And and when we conduct ourselves in that high esteem and model, we guarantee profits just not just for the higher ups, but for everyone. And those profits then go back into the people of the company.
Translation. Uh, Ever since COVID happened, I had to stay at home with my wife a lot, and now that I'm stuck at home with my wife again, and she's hating on me. I really want to go back to the other building and stay there for hours on end because I don't want to deal with my wife. And if I can't, if I If
And
I
if
can't
I'm
stay at home in
miserable, then
peace.
all of you will be miserable. Now, excuse me while I go for another 18 holes of golf.
Now, excuse me while I ask for the secretary for some help.
Now, excuse me while I bring in Fernando from overseas and give him a personal tour of the facilities. Yellow, Yellow says, "Nah, I hang out there, but they pay me anyway. I'm not even an employee." How is that not a skit? That's a good skit right there. Professional couch surfer. I'll watch that. Johnny says, "Now let me go burn my business degree real quick." if something came close, if something came close to make me drop out, with that flowery talk, by the elder gods, do I hate it? Oh no, I know. I hate that that corpo talk too. Them damn corpos and their corporatizing.
And they're
Corporate.
corporals.
They don't even now. They don't have corporate.
No, we just have to have. We just got to keep saying
and
corp to
and
everything, and it
and
sounds
their
bad.
yeah. Then their cores. Anyways, oh man, yeah. Business world's effed up, but you gotta find those little nuggets of positivity where you can. Oh, Ghetto says, remember the dude who was sending them bills for years and then didn't catch on for a long while? Oh, put more context in. I would love to know more, because with giant corporations, oh yeah, money can get lost pretty easily.
I remember a story that happened where this guy, when he applied and he got his job, his department was in need. Like they actually was a thing. His department was useful pretty much. After a few years, the department was getting smaller and smaller. But uh, somewhere along the line, he asked for to be able to work at home or something like that. Basically, he had his own office somewhere else, and then he got a letter saying that the department was gonna get axed, pretty much, just taken off. But he then realized he was still in the system, and he was still getting a few inquiries. Like people were asking him for help for stuff until a point where, like literally, once when they finally dissolved the department, he wasn't getting anything. No sort of task. So he just basically didn't say anything for years, almost a decade. Got another job, and was just basically living off the income of two jobs, except he's only working one because the other one just gives him money.
You know what? You know what? There's probably some illegality to it, but just for the hustle, there you go. Hey,
I
it's not his fault that that company has terrible accountants.
I think they did try to like throw him in court, but it didn't. Throw him to court, but it didn't work.
Good, good. That's the American dream.
The American dream.
American dream. All I could all I could imagine right now is the scene from The Simpsons. Homer's laying on the couch, and he's like, "Man, I can't wait till I retire." And 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 then a thought bubble appears above him, and it's the same image of him laying on the couch. So he's thinking of retirement as laying on the couch while he's laying on the couch. Oh man, great. Sugoi. Love it. I love it.
Man, I wish I can be able to be forgotten about in my company and just be able to make money off of nothing.
One day, you never know. One day you might be that next guy. or the guy Ghetto mentioned, where some guy was saying Google bills for years and they just kept paying him.
We
It
don't
should
know
be
what this is for, but okay, go ahead.
just say it that this is the um it's like saying the bills like what this? Oh, this is the newly this is just passed by city council. This is the JAC tax. And JAC is an acronym for justice and county tax. It's like, what does this pay for? Justices and counties. Not knowing that JAC is actually your LLC. Oh,
I still have no idea what an LLC does.
limited liability company.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really don't. I remember my old supervisor tried to go on like these whole rants about, oh, we need to build LLCs as personally, that way we can avoid taxes, and I just kind of tuned it out after a while. So I'm just
Well,
like, eh.
pretty much. Well, here's a short and simple definition. An LLC is a business structure that protects owners from personal responsibility for its debts or liabilities.
Lively corporation. The lively corporation.
Oh, not that LLC. Oh man,
Now we're
man,
gonna have the World Star Corporation.
the WSC.
Hey,
Right.
that sounds like a wrestling. Uh,
Oh, a wrestling league, the WSC,
yes,
the wrestle, the wrestle. Hmm. Oh, I
wrestle.
got it. I got it. The wrestling Spanish circuit. It's a new
Hey,
branch of the new branch of the WWE catered specifically to Central and South America. You should get on it, Johnny. The WSC. Get on it.
do it.
Pitch it to Vince Mc no, pitch it to Vince McMahon. I'm sure he has a positive opinions on Hispanics. Oh my dude.
That would be
That,
AAA.
boy. Yeah, I know it already exists. Oh man. Oh, by the way, Jack, you know what? Do you know what I forgot came? You know what I forgot came out until this week?
What?
Resident Evil 4 remake. I forgot that was a thing.
Oh, you literally forgot about it?
Yeah, I forgot about. I mean, I probably would have remembered it if I actually played the game, but uh uh but I was reminded of it when I saw a montage of of women oohing over Leon, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. This game exists. I forgot." Oh man. Just like the Dead Space remake. Which did you ever beat that? Did you ever finish that?
I never got to play it on stream
Well,
because
guess what?
they had it so badly optimized.
Oh,
Like
I
literally when I
see.
tried even entering the first door, it would just turn off.
Maybe they
Crash
fixed.
everything.
Maybe they fixed it.
No.
Uh, I was gonna say because that would have been an ideal game to play for Spooky Month.
I played the original Dead Space instead.
As he should. He should hold on to it before it's gone forever, 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 forever.
I did forget it was spooky month, so I'll see what I can play. I
Yeah,
have an
yeah,
idea already. I pretty
yeah,
much have the idea. It's
yeah.
most likely Resident Evil.
And we'll also do a few spooky episodes. Ooh, got you
What
there.
would be the spooky month for us then? What would we do?
You usually we play a spooky game and then watch a copyright-free spooky movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
We'll think about it when we get to it.
When we get closer to spooky time, the Monster Bash. I have a rash.
The
I
eczema
don't.
version. of the freaking song.
Yes. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember how else the Monster Bash goes. Or you know. Or you know what? Hold on, Blue. If you're still here, Blue. Um, this is shooting in the dark. How does a just to be more sophisticated. To be more sophisticated. Let's see. We can do we can do a book club on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's not a long book. In fact, it's pretty short. But I gotta but that's something that's gotta be planned and probably something that's not done on the main show.
Damn, we're gonna have to be reading it as a book study club. We're gonna be reading it live.
No, we're not doing that. Uh, I am not gonna attempt to do any accent whatsoever. Johnny says, at least we assume it's free and not over the hood of the living. He's not over the hood of the living dead situation.
Rest in peace.
Rest, rip in peace. Ironically, yeah. That's gonna be lost time. Our lost episode.
Our other lost episode.
Actually, we have a few lost episodes.
Yeah.
Oh man. We're just like an we're just like a cartoon show that's been on the air for years, and then YouTubers make YouTube videos about the lost episodes of SpongeBob.
We even have the lost tapes.
Now that's something different. I don't think any of us had a Mothman encounter.
Yet.
Not in Texas. No, not even the chupacabra. There's not a lot of cryptids we'll come across in the coastal region of Texas. Now we were in El Paso or Waco, then maybe the chupacabra. Maybe. Hold on, Johnny, can we borrow one of your goats? We need it to sacrifice to the chupacabra.
What are you gonna do? Give it back to him? Are you just gonna give it back to him like how it is?
No. After the chupacabra sucks out all the blood, I will then have the rest of the goat meat properly cut and mail it back to him in a refrigerated box so he can enjoy some goat meat.
But he still lost a goat.
Okay. How about this? Okay, after chupacabra has its meal, I then shave off the goat cotton and mail that back to him. No wait, that's a sheep. Never mind. That's sheep, not a goat. Stupid. Well, lend. There we go. Lend. I'll pay whatever is in rubles. No, rubles is India. I don't know what the currency is in Brazil. I think it starts with an R.
I just saw that comment.
Yeah, me too.
Is you gonna give it back?
Okay. Johnny says, quick one hack. Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein or the Junti one? Who drew it better? Ooh, I am not familiar with those adaptations of Frankenstein, but if it's just an art question, then I can look it up real quick. If you're just focusing on the art, since I don't know if they're just the Frankenstein story or if it's a certain interpretation of that story. There we go. Bernie Wrightson. Frankenstein. Ooh, god dang. Look at this. Look at. Good lord. Good lordy lord. Yeah, I'm gonna share this with you because you need to see this. Good lord.
I'm looking. Maybe.
Gosh. Hold on. Share it to the sources. Take a look at this. Show it to the audience too, if you so choose so dearly. It's a pretty gnarly art. This is Bernie Wrightson. This is Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. I'm looking at just like a I'm looking at just what looks like a page Number one, love the pencil sketching. Love the pencil sketching. The monster himself. Hmm. I would
How
say
many
it.
bodies do they needed to make him?
Uh, Several. If I remember, in fact, in the original story, I think that Dr. Frankenstein he actually didn't just use human body parts. He took an amalgamation of different parts from different animals and humans to create the monster.
This man be big. How many did it take? A small village?
One that riots with pitchforks and torches. Now, I could I could see this. I do love background, the detail in the background though, with all the test tubes and everything. So so the characters in the foreground, they're impressive, but the fact that he bothered to draw out and shade and do all the necessary penciling for the background also shows volumes to this man's work. All right, let me look at Junji Ito's Frankenstein. Let's see what he do different. Interessant, interessant. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good page. This is a good page to see. All right, I'm gonna see. Uh huh. Give me a second. We'll try to. No, that's not it. There we go. Here. All right, Jack. I'm gonna show you now. This is Frankenstein as drawn by Junji Ito, among famous horror mangaka. So there you go. Send you in the sources. Take a look at it for yourself. See, and judge for it, and you can make your own judgments, I should say. Let's see. Just looking at just the art here, or what I can assume is Dr. Frankenstein finishing with his creation. Like it definitely I would say it could be just how the pages layout is definitely less cluttered compared to the Bernie Wrightson's page of how the of them depicting the creator and the creation together. Although the scenes are probably different contexts, but with this, the depth of the eye is to the size of the monster. Is like because Bernie Wrightson he looks big, but he's like very musculature, very thick. While Junji Ito's goes more over something that is freakishly tall, but not something that is, but also still the same way a bit slender instead of a somewhat normal human physique. At least that's how I see it. What are your thoughts, Jack?
It almost looks feminine to me.
I think it's because of the legs.
It's probably the long legs, yeah.
hmm So an
Also,
inch.
the way those legs look, they look almost like a horse's legs.
Gee, I would not be surprised if the doctor attached a human foot to a horse's leg. Good
Would
lord.
make sense.
And like, let's see. And unfortunately, the background is nothing special. Nothing special. Uh, However, it is creatively laid out because number one, if you don't notice, you see the candle there. So we do get a candle, so something to show there's a source of light in the room, and so because of that, uh, the monster is illuminated, but it is illuminated just visibly for in the way the art is depicted for Dr. Frankenstein to see. But also do like how this bold dark inking all over the floor that the monster is laying. I do like that touch showing how these dark shadows are uh there's still a dark looming shadow over the entire room that the light from the candle uh can't can't illuminate. Thus kind of making it creepier from this perspective of seeing the monster literally laying in darkness. Which makes sense because, and again, back to the original novel, my memory serves correctly. Oh, when the first instance that the doctor he actually saw his creation come alive, he was so distraught and so afraid of what he created. Um, in com- Unlike with like the famous 1930s movie, you know that line where it goes, "It's alive, it's alive." It wasn't
Hmm.
very celebratory. He was like, "What have I done?" And when he saw the freak of nature he created, he literally locked the door to his basement and then pretty much tried to forget about that thing for the next few days. So, and with this, as something that's like a freak of nature, I can definitely see that in Juji Angels are being depicted. Bernie Wrightson, I think it goes for more almost kind of like a romantic and its interpretation of the monster, where he definitely looks a lot more human, but also still but more beastly than like a freak of nature, as you can see with the way that he still has kind of like normal human musculature, and just the overwhelming, almost like power the creature has over his creator.
You know, if you think
So
about it, the the doctor is like a genius, knowing the fact he can perfectly replicate these muscles.
you know what? Yeah, very much so, very much so. But I mean, yeah. So those are my thoughts on the on just those two specific pages, or just those two specific pieces of art. I see from the mindset of what they're going for. If you have to tell me which one I would prefer to look at, I think I like Barry Windsor's more detailed art. I think that's more aesthetically pleasing as like an artwork. But I like Junji Ito. But if I were to read one of them, I would read Junji Ito's more because of the way he make things just more creepy as opposed to Bernie's, where there's a bit of romanticism in the horror. If that makes any sense to anyone. So that's
You,
my answer to you, Johnny. Hope you are fine with that.
you know, it's very interesting that we're on something like this because I was actually talking to my brother, trying to get his point of view, and I don't know if you might have seen my comment on Twitter about it, but uh, basically, I was it was a scene for one of the it was for the Resident Evil 4 remake where Ada gets killed by the lasers, like how it looks like.
Oh,
And
that's yeah. I saw that tweet going around on my timeline a few days ago. And I think
yeah,
I think the original poster was kind of disturbed by that scene.
yeah. And like I always liked when it comes to horror movies, I always or horror in any type of genre, I always like to have a certain different set for certain things because horror has such a big brand or not brand, what was the word? Not brand.
Style?
Spectrum of like how it portrays itself. There's psychological horror, there's slasher films, there's
Okay, so there are different in
subgenres.
subgenres within the genre of horror.
Yeah. And whenever some like I understood the girl whenever she said that she found it very disturbing. And the fact that people kind of misinterpreted the way because like I like the Resident Evil 4 remake or the Resident Evil remakes because they kind of are in a way an art form just because of the way that they kind of reposition the cameras for certain death scenes and certain other dialogues. They do put some work into it depending on who you talk to, especially Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography when it comes to the positioning of how they had it set up for Ada's game over scene was very chilling because yeah, sure, we saw that same scene in that one Resident Evil movie, but even then the Resident Evil movie was
Cheesy.
cheesy. Yeah, that, and also it didn't really set a tone of creepy. Resident Evil
Man.
4, I haven't played the remake, but it had a Resident Evil the original had a good mix of both creepy and gruesome.
Yeah,
And
and
mhm,
oh, and to kind of add to that, RE4 I think has like between all the games in the series has the most death animations with in any Resident Evil game. So so they sort of went above and beyond to unfortunately put Leon and Ashley. I don't know about the original Ada missions, but we can safe to assume the original dev team put a lot of time away to disfigure, kill, and just horribly. They put a lot of ways to horribly kill the player in many different situations. Some of them um, are very. Some of them are even very. Some of them are very reliant on certain contexts that you may never see them unless you deliberately go out to die in a certain way.
yeah, and even then, like I always love the idea when it comes to horror. The less information, the worse it is. I forgot what's the actual proper term for it, but
Uh,
basically, yeah, go ahead if you know
uh,
it.
there's no proper term, but I know what you're talking about. It's the way how famous example of how, and well, two famous examples will be the way how the way Jaws and the original Halloween portray their killer, and mostly just due to budget concerns, where both directors of both films decide to um this they they decide to emphasize the horror not necessarily through any gruesome gore, but rather of either seeing things from the killer's point of view, or when the gory thing happens, the camera pulls away and is left up to the viewer to imagine what happened to the person who died.
Exactly, and that is the our worst enemies when it comes to horror movies or anything is ourselves because that
Mm-hmm.
you just adding something literally there will be games where they have a section that has nothing down this hallway but it's dark and
Yep.
you're just thinking oh something's gonna pop out of that dark and then you the more you walk down or the more you see this person in the movie walk down the more you're kind of making yourself anxious
That you're
so,
dreading because that primal part of your brain is trying to tell you that something is going to happen. Be, of that something's going to happen because of the low light and the fact that you're alone, and you know that a threat is there somewhere, but and you're like being hyper aware of where that threat will come from.
exactly. So whenever I saw the Ada scene, because that tweet was actually the first time I saw it, and I didn't know that. I don't remember her going through the laser section. I only remember uh Leon going through that, but maybe they changed it up a bit. Actually,
I I
actually,
only mhm, yeah.
maybe.
I don't remember a laser section in the original Ada DLC of Separate Ways in the original RE4.
Hmm.
So I mean, heck, she's even in a completely different outfit. She's not even wearing her red dress,
Yeah.
which I think the sweater skirt thing, I I think actually makes a lot more sense than wearing a cocktail dress to it.
Hey, you
I'm
gotta
not
look
gonna
good.
lie. Yeah, yeah, but at least she could. I mean, heels excluded. At least she can move a bit more free than wearing a cocktail dress. But that's either here or there. Um, both designs look good. Yeah, I've actually kind of felt bad for the original post because I feel like most people were kind of dogpiling on the person for like, oh man, how dare like, oh man, look at this person being disturbed by a disturbing scene, and people kind of uh
And like that's the beauty of it that the
yeah
fact that the way the scene played out was so good because all you do is you see the lasers pass through her and it looks like nothing happened. But for some reason, whenever you're looking at it, the camera goes down to only ankle level.
yep,
And,
and then
and
the head drops, right, or you get a glimpse of the head dropping.
what's well that too, but like you see her slowly like back up, and then the head drops. So
Mm.
that little point, that little part where her moving back is actually very important for the fact that it gives a sense that she was still alive, and even when the head dropped, did not realize she was dead. So that gives you a
It's good.
very
It's good direction.
exactly. And people are like, oh, but and again, you were saying like they were dogpiling on this person, saying like, oh, you never played an RE game. Then they show the scene of, or they show the little death scene for whenever a Ganado chainsaws Leon's head off. And I'm like, it's not really the same. It
I, I,
really
th- I think it's well. I think it's one of those things where, um, I think it was people went too hard. Not, I don't think they went too hard, in, but I think the original person who made that post, got too much flack for a genuine emotion that you're probably supposed to feel when you're supposed to
mm-hmm.
see that scene. But I think for a lot of people who played RE games or consume a lot of horror, just horror stuff in general, they kind of get desensitized
But
from seeing that, and so they just assumes like, oh, you're not used to seeing this. Oh shoot, I could watch all this beheading stuff all day long. You
here's the
coward.
thing. The difference is, I mean, I play a lot of horror games too, and I go through a lot of the gruesome parts too. But I still find some things disturbing, mostly because there is a difference between disturbing and gruesome. Gruesome, you can literally see something that is gruesome, and you're like, oh my god, that was pretty gruesome, but you're not gonna feel disturbed because you're kind of expecting it. Like, oh, a chainsaw going through a head, yeah, you kind of expected.
Hmm.
Because I remember this one scene in Dead Space. The Dead Space games, beyond, they're always been they're like super gruesome. The way you die, for the most part, 90% of the time, that the way you die, you don't even turn. They don't give you a chance to turn. They just rip you up in half.
I, s-
But there is,
I- I still
uh
cringe, and I'm using that word correctly.
huh,
I still cringe at the eye laser thing from Dead Space 2, every
yeah.
time I say it.
And here was the one thing that uh was really disturbing, at least from Dead Space 1, because you're throughout the whole time you're so used to the decapitation, the evisceration, the other Asians in there, and
The precipitation.
the yeah, I mean that's what happens when you're raining down blood.
Raining blood, you could say. Da-da-da-da-da.
But like the one enemy that kind of gives me the willies anytime if it kills me, and this is like very rarely it would kill you. I think they're called Longman. I don't know. They're like they're pretty much just heads and has like tendrils. And if
Yeah.
you and basically there's not just one of them. There's multiple of them, and they all form into one person. But if you like shoot at it, it will split up into various others. And if one gets on you and you let it, pretty much you get a game over from it. It will grab onto your neck, and it will rip off your head just from the full pressure of it. But
Ew.
that's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is when it puts its tendrils in your old body, and then basically you become a necromorph from that, and you see the Isaac's leg twitching because the parasite's trying to maneuver with that body that it hijacked. So like it adds that gruesome part, but it also has that disturbing moment where it's like it's not Isaac anymore. It's a thing.
And it's, and I want to shout out. I do see and read your comment. That's that's actually that's pretty disturbing for any type of fiction. So, but I won't say it out loud. But everyone can read it, so we know what he's saying. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Jack, on the original point with the person showing that RE4 death remake death scene. And to answer Johnny's question, did the movie kind of do it like that? Yeah, but it was like I said, it was a lot more cheesy as you see like a man turn into meat cubes, you know, and and it was almost kind of not set up for laughs. I'm not gonna say that. If I remember how the scene was played out, it was a way to kind of I don't know. I don't know. To still, you know, I'll stop right there because the memories of that scene are pretty vague. But I do know that it was more so like silly gore in a way, kind of like in the way Johnny how the old Mortal Kombat games were, where yeah they were violent, but when you really look at most fatalities from the first three games, some of them were kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But stupid in the fun way, like with Johnny Cage uppercutting your head, and then he continues to uppercut as more of your head pops out of your body. Silly, yeah. Make this realistic? No. Fun? Yes. And so I do wish people did lay off on that person and made that pose. They wanted to show something that disturbed them. Never and everyone went that to took that as they took that as a way to tease him for having essentially low um what's that word? Oh, dang it! Starts with a T. Starts with a T. Having a low tolerance for horror. Honestly, if a game can actually make you legitimately scared or even fearful of something, even for a split moment, then the game does its job. Don't if that didn't happen to you for this other person, then all right, then you are looking for something different. Heck, some people aren't even looking to get scared in horror. They just want to see that gruesome imagery because that's fun, which is good. As in, let them have that fun in fiction, so that they don't do it in real life. Get that desires out.
Really, it's just like, and this is a problem for any sort of like fan base. It's just the slight gatekeeping of, and this is kind of gatekeeping because they're like, oh, this shows they never truly played a Resident Evil game, or they never played X game, or they're
Which
not a fan of X game.
which honestly, it could be true. That could be that person's first Resident Evil game.
I mean, the fact that Resident Evil remakes in general have brought in more fans to Resident Evil, or new
And
fans, I mean.
yep, and the fact that even with how so a little bit of a misfire, the third one is again these
Mm-hmm.
people are getting spoiled in good RE games.
Yeah.
it the only thing they have to worry about is when inevitably if Capcom's gonna remake 5 and 6.
I really want the 5 remake, and then you and I can play it again, and oh,
I don't
those
see the
Reapers
remake.
will be terrifying.
I don't see the remaking 5 because Capcom is not going to want to go through that controversy again.
Well, the fan base is racist. There you go.
Yes, all of you. Yes, even you, Ghetto. You're racist.
The ones that were complaining about the setting, I don't know
Don't
what to say to you. Just play a
just
different game.
yeah, play a different game or freaking or freaking actually makes or actually get some black friends.
Yep, perfect.
Yep.
Perfectly
Yep.
described.
Yep. Yep. Reminds of a great quote from a movie. There's two things I distaste. No no tolerance for other people's cultures and the Dutch. Let me know in the chat if you know which movie I just quoted. And Johnny makes awesome is a good point. God forbid you are not around every single game came out, man. People's like that's true, and I actually appreciate a lot of these remakes uh, that do come out because it does expose these great games that assuming that there's not a mess up in the process. There's these great games that are brought in that were made back then that are either that you can't play through any can through any convenient way that's not just emulation or getting the original copies, and that exposes more people to see how great these games are that are even worth remaking. And I still remember all the shenanigans that when RE4 remake was announced of how the original one, is flawless as it is. And heck, I remember being got annoyed by someone I used to follow on Twitter who couldn't even explain why he didn't like RE4 besides it's not the same. Jack, it's not the same. And I'm like, can you tell me what you don't like about it? And he ended up pretty much going through a whole cycle of, you know what, I play the game, I think it's alright, it's good. To like, this game effing sucks. I hate this game. This is the worst thing Resident Evil has done. I'm like, calm down. The worst thing Resident Evil has done? Have you not played Operation Raccoon City? Yeah, get back to me after you play that game. Or worse, Umbrella Corps. Come back to me and let me know if that's the worst thing Resident Evil has ever made.
I swear, every time I hear Umbrella Corps, I just keep thinking it's gonna be some weird evil high school. Am I wrong?
Resident Evil High.
Resident Evil High.
I could see it now. I could see it now. Let's see. It'll you know what it'll be? It'll be kind of like Clone High, except with RE characters. Chris will be the jock. Leon, for the first like 2 seasons, he'll be the dorky kid, but then he becomes cool later on. Jill, let's see. Jill is the nerdy girl. Ada is the popular girl. Rebecca Chambers is there.
Ashley comes in mid-season when that's during Leon's cool phase, and she's like the new freshman.
Exactly. Wesker's the principal. Hold on. And Claire. What do we make Claire? She's the tomboy. She's a tomboy, and of course she's Chris's sister. And throughout the entire show, Chris keeps trying to like get Leon to ask his sister out. It's like, come on, bro, she likes you, man. She likes you. And Leon's like, no, because he's infatuated with Ada, and Ada just plays him like a fiddle.
Oh, and then later on in the seasons, Ada has to move to a different school.
Wait, like Okay, you know what? If we're gonna go a little more trashy, we can make it like a CW show, right? A CW show.
No.
Come with me. And Ada has a secret relationship with Wesker.
Oh no!
Just to get that CW trash in there.
Might as well put the CW watermark right there.
On a new episode of RE High. Johnny with the ew. And the best part, if we do that, we could still do the Jill Valentine mind control, because that won't seem far-fetched.
Oh my god, no. No.
But he doesn't
They're supposed to be studying for their exams, not delve into sci-fi and then having
See now we're going to Riverdale. It starts off kind of normal, but then it just progressively starts going into different types of genres as the seasons go by. You get the horror season, you get the action season when Leon becomes the main character. Then you get the mystery thriller season where everyone doesn't know who to trust. Friendships will be broken, love boundaries will be crossed.
If this is gonna be Riverdale, they might as well have one of the Sprouse guys to be Leon.
And then in the season finale, guess what happens in the season finale?
What?
The season finale ends with Chris finally acing his test and becoming a member of STARS, and Leon enrolling into the police academy, Claire rides up to her bike for a new adventure. Ada finally becomes a secret agent, and all of this is just one big prequel to the first game.
Oh no.
Because then the last shot of the show is you get to see the Spencer match from RE1, and
Oh
Wes
no.
and Wesker going, and Wesker saying, so say said to the effect of, the ultimate weapon is almost complete. End credits.
The Metal Gear.
The ultimate bio weapon. Oh, let's see. Johnny says, "Ew." Ghetto says, "If it's a CW, then Dante shows up as a failed backdoor pilot for DMC." Yes, that's the season where he gets things get a little fantasy. That's where Dante shows up, and
No,
of
wait,
course,
better.
what?
The RE verse. We're
The
gonna
RE
have a Dante alternate universe.
Oh, that's
The
right.
crossover
No,
events with the episodes.
it'll be like this. So you got the Resident Evil. That's the Arrow. They got Devil May Cry. That's the Flash. Somehow Devil May Cry because it keeps going on for like 10 more years. and then you have failed pilots for, let's see. What other Capcom franchises can I connect? And you have like a few seasons of Dino Crisis. That's the Black Lightning of the RE verse. Where it's just like RE High, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
and then you have, what would be the Batwoman of the RE verse? I'm trying to think. What's a Capcom IP no one really likes? Help us, guys. What would be the Batwoman of the of our CW RE verse? Gato says, "Oh, you know what? Yes, let's do Onimusha." As
I
sad as
forgot
that
about
pains me.
Onimusha.
Exactly. That's why we'll make it the Batwoman of the CW RE verse. Oh man. Oh my God, Jack! I just realized that our show technically exists. You remember the Netflix Resident Evil show? Yeah, we both forgot. That technically exists. We do have RE High. It's called Resident Evil on Netflix.
I forgot.
I mind wiped that show until now. Oh my God, it technically is real with Black Wesker and everything. Sorry, Johnny, it technically exists.
Damn.
Well, there goes our ideas. Hey, at least
no, we have hope. CW might make it for the second season.
The show gets Capcom customer C tell you to pick up at the second season. Gemini says never heard of it. Good. Don't bother. Don't bother with the Resident Evil show on Netflix. It's barely even about the game. Barely. And also welcome, Gemini. Welcome as we pitch to CW our Resident Evil high school TV series.
You know, it also kind of implies. I forgot that the CW show kind of implies, or not CW, the Netflix show kind of implies the fact that everything, all the characters did was for naught because everything still went to shit.
Yep. Isn't that just fun to think about? And Wesker somehow still survived that volcano.
Because he cloned himself several times.
Just like M. Bison. At least his power kind of makes sense of why he could transfer his soul. Although, you know what, Jack? Let me hear your take. Would you say would you say it was a base idea for M. Bison to to create Cammy and go, when I die, I'm gonna be in that body. And he meant that literally.
I mean,
Not sexually.
I know, but I mean, he's got taste, I guess.
Like we know Bison's an ass man. We can give him that.
The man's like, she needs more ass. But sir, why is that important? Because I want to look good in leotard.
I need to look good for the uniforms of my dolls. They need to know who's the top bitch around Shadowloo.
as he says, walking away menacingly, with menacingly being a catwalk.
And Vega in the back row going,
Oh.
oh. It's still kind of weird though. Like Seth makes more sense as a replacement body. I don't know why M. Bison. You know what? I'm not gonna question it. Maybe just M. Bison likes. Maybe inside of him all along, it wasn't Poison. It wasn't Poison who we think is a woman trapped in a man's body. No, it secretly was M. Bison.
M. Bison trying to fight his inner demons.
Which, when you think about it, makes sense why Seth looks the way he does look in Street Fighter V. Is Capcom pervading the trans agenda? It's only a theory, a game theory.
A game theory. Thanks for watching.
I'll watch that game theory. Capcom and the trans agenda. Oh, let's go ahead and start ending things here, because now we're getting to the point where we just become silly billies. Oh man. Johnny says, wouldn't you want to know how the equipment feels if you had the chance?
True.
That depends, Johnny. That depends. What are your opinions on Ranma 1/2? Whatever your opinions on about that show, that's how I would feel about becoming a woman because some water splashed on me. So whatever your thoughts are about Ranma 1/2, that's my answer.
Pause. Apparently, Johnny says pause.
He should have said pause a long time ago. I don't know why he's pausing now. But let's actually start ending. Let's actually start ending things. Jack, what do you have?
Pause. I mean, based.
Gemini wins. Homosexuality.
That was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Oh, Jack, what do you have to announce in the next episode?
Damn,
oh, that MK joke. That was I'm gonna put myself in the bag. That was good. It's good on me for coming up with that one.
Give another pat on the back for yourself. This is from me. Let's see. So tomorrow, I'm really not sure what I'm gonna be doing. Probably gonna be. I'll see what I could do, but I'm gonna be doing my usual streams Tuesday and Friday. It seems like I am having a brief respite from everything after tomorrow because tomorrow's another midterm, so that'll be fun. But I'm gonna do it. I'll dread doing the midterm, and if I do good, I do good. If I don't, I don't. It's gonna be. By that point, it's going to be past Jack's problem, not present Jack.
Alrighty then. And that's it for go on. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. And also welcome Virgo. We're actually just about to end things, but I'm glad you can at least make it until to the end to hear my announcement, or our announcements, I should say. So first off, Devil May Cry 3 will continue this continue this Friday, and I have a gut feeling this might be the big finale. And hopefully I don't jump the gun, but you don't want to miss this for being the potential finale of Devil May Cry 3. We're very much close for me to experience the Virgil fight. And also as well, we have something special we want to announce in the next Hector episode, we are doing another Fight Night. That's right, folks. Fight Night returns next episode. Episode 165. This will be Fight Night 8 or 9. I'll figure that out later on. But yes, new fight. Next episode is going to be a Fight Night, and we are doing Street Fighter 6. So, Jack, better put some time to get back into playing SF6 because I know I need to too. I have not touched that game in a long time.
Oof.
So, and we're not gonna do that stream like scrubs, only super scrubs. So, be excited for that, and of course, we will announce it on the day of the stream, but we'll also announce it here that if you also own a copy of Street Fighter 6, you are more than welcome to join us in our little reindeer games. So that's a way for y'all guys to want to interact with us and be a part of the fun on stream. And of course, as always, the Saint Seiya video still currently in development. Nothing more need to say. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, get us something to share. He says, "Oh, by the way, I crashed in the middle of the last stream, and the previous stream scared the hell out of me because you shouted goal." Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the second time I scared Ghetto with one of my live streams. Uh, technically 3, but the third time he scared himself. That's right. That's right. Which, admittedly, through the context, I would be creeped out as well. Pretty much from what I remember, the story he shared with me, like near the beginning of our channel, was that he would often put our show in the background to listen like a podcast.
Mhm.
And one of the ones that he appeared, he was kind of dozing off, and when he heard himself, it actually freaked him out because he thought he was number one, not used to hearing himself, but also was like is that weird phenomena where like, why can't I hear my voice when I'm not talking or thinking?
Oh, I see.
And so that kind of shook him back to waking up, and that's when he realized, oh, okay, he is just watching an episode where he made an appearance. Uh, all right then. So that's all we have to announce. To and go ahead, Jack. Close us off.
All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming, and we'll see you next time.
And don't forget, we're only 50 subscribers away from Ghetto wearing the Wolverine costume. Let's make sure we can reach that goal before the end of the year, December 31st. Let's make it a reality. All right, that's enough for me.
This is Hack and Jack, signing off.
Peace.